Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Growing Kentucky's Leaders. Today, we have a great guest, Taylor Cook. She is an Anderson County FFA alumni, and she's built a thriving business called Taylor Belle's Ice Cream. Taylor, welcome to our podcast. How about you just introduce yourself to the audience, tell them who you are and how you got your start in FFA?
Hey, so my name is Taylor Cook. I graduated from Anderson County in 2018, and in the FFA chapter, I started my business called Taylor Belle's. I started it when I was 15 in the FFA program, so it was my sophomore year, I believe. And so I decided to start it as my SAE project. And when I did that, I actually went to my dad, and he was in FFA, so he knew, a little bit about FFA and what it was. My mom, not so much because she was always the sports girl, but she learned real quick what FFA was. And so I started my business and I got a trailer to begin with, and I was just going around doing local festivals and just selling my ice cream out of that. And now, fast forward 9 years later, I have a booming business, you could say at the least. And my sister is now alongside of me as my business partner, and she has opened up our first retail location called Taylor Belle's and Burgers. And so that's actually where the Belle part of Taylor Belle's comes in because her name is Annabelle.
Ah, that's so nice to know. Yeah, that it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's so cool to hear how your SAE project really transformed into, like you said, like a very booming business, and people know your brand in Kentucky and they see it and love it. And I think it'd just be so cool and appropriate for you to share with our guests, like what were some of those big pivotal moments where you're like, man, like we have really made this a successful business. What are some of those milestone moments in your entrepreneur journey?
So I think the very first like eye-opening moment was my very first event. Just because, I had marketed it on Facebook, posted it out there, but as, a 15-year-old, like you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we went to that very first event at the summer concert series in Frankfurt. And this was before they had the food truck. So I was the very first one to have a food truck down there. And the line was just so long. Like the community came out and supported me in every way they could. And that was just like, wow, like I can do this. Like it just gave me a big confidence booster on this can be a business and this is what we can do. So that was like one thing that was like really eye opening for sure.
Mm.
But so
Along the way, have you had other big milestone moments where you're like, holy smokes, like this is a real business that is
Yeah,
growing.
so I got a contract with the University of Kentucky. So that was really nerve-wracking, going in there with all the big wigs at UK. Just as a young girl, like taking my ice cream for them to sample it. And then they loved it. So I got into their dining halls, and then it just kind of transferred into, more stuff. So we got into the dining halls. Then it was Kroger Field, and then Rupp Arena came along, and I'd never
Wow.
imagined in my life that I would have my ice cream at Rupp Arena. Like that was huge for me. And then now we're at the baseball fields, the softball fields, a lot of stuff with UK. So that was a big milestone as well.
That's just awesome. So incredible to hear. And an ice cream cone at Rupp Arena is kind of an iconic thing there. And so if people
Yes.
are going to ball games and eating an ice cream cone, it's your ice cream. This is
Yes. All of the ice cream there, soft serve and the hand dipped, is both mine.
and I want to make sure people know you make your own ice cream. You're not just selling ice cream, you're making ice cream, right?
Yes, we have our production facility in Frankfurt, and that is where all of the ice cream is made in our production facility.
Okay. And what are your most popular flavors?
Cookies and cream, of course. That's just a worldwide national flavor. Um, then we've got our Taylor's Delight, which is really popular, and it's a chocolate ice cream with brownies, chocolate chips, and a fudge swirl. Another popular one that we just started was Super Belle. So it's cotton candy, vanilla, and cherry, and it's pink, purple, and white. So it's got our colors in it and makes it
Mhm.
fun, and the kids love it. And then another one is our Banana Bell. It tastes just like homemade banana ice cream that you used to make with your grandmother. So that one's became really popular.
That's so fun. Well, I got to eat at your restaurant a few months ago when we had a visit with some Lawrence County FFA folks, Anderson County FFA folks, excuse me, in Lawrenceburg. But you have a location in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, that if people would like to go there. And when you walk in, there is a timeline on your wall of really your FFA experience. And so, why is that important for you to share with all of the guests who are coming into your restaurant?
So the restaurant is actually my sister's, but we did want to display like our story wall is what we call it, just because, we are proud of our story and it's just something that, means a lot to me. But my FFA jacket hangs on the wall up there. And FFA is just so important because that's where it all got started. If it wasn't for FFA, then this probably wouldn't even be here. So it gave me the confidence to do what I do now and able to talk to people. So I just want to like highlight all of those moments in FFA that helped along the way.
Well, Taylor, it is so evident how confident you are and successful, and you are a true successful entrepreneur. And it's incredible to get to talk with you and hear about your story. We have a lot of students that listen to this podcast, a lot of FFA members in Kentucky. What are some core values or tips that you would give FFA members today, these young people who are inspired by you and maybe want to take their own journey of being an entrepreneur? What would you tell them?
One thing I would tell them is just, follow your dreams. Like if it is your dream, you can do it. The ice cream business was my dream as a little girl. So I made that a reality in FFA, and, following your dreams is a big thing. You will have the support from your family and your friends, and that's always important too. But you'll always have my support. If anybody, needs help or tips or tricks, they can always reach out. I want to be that person that if anybody needs, they can definitely come and reach out to me.
Mm, that's great. So, Taylor, thinking back about two high school FFA members who maybe are sitting in the classroom right now watching this, and they're thinking about starting an SAE project, what are some just real principal things that you do or have done that have helped in your business journey? Some just values that this is how you have grown or stayed with it.
Some values that have definitely helped me in growing with the business is, those public speaking, just because I have to do that every day, talking, getting new business counts, getting new customers. That is mostly important, even if it's not a business that you're running, even in a job, like you've got to have those public, public speaking stuff. So that's definitely one of the core values that I like to tell everybody.
Well, Taylor, we always ask our guests the same three questions, and we're looking forward to hearing your responses to these questions for sure. The first one is, what is the best piece of leadership advice that you've just ever received?
Um, what the best leadership would probably be like follow your goals and like never give up. Just because with the business when I, started, like there were like some bumps in the road that I was like, nope, I want to throw my hands up. Like it is hard, it is tough, but you just gotta work through those because once you do work through those, then you get to like see and feel all of the stuff that you worked so hard towards. And now looking back, like I'm like, oh my gosh, I did that. So
Yeah.
just follow your goals and never give up on those.
Mm.
That's great. So FFA, the FFA Foundation, we're a philanthropy. It's all about giving back, and people can give back in all kinds of ways. And one of those is just by being a mentor, pouring into other people. So we just kind of want to give you a time to shout out somebody who's really been pivotal in your journey and growth and has poured into you.
So I'd say there'd be a couple. My mom and dad are definitely like I wouldn't be able to do it without them. They gave me the loan in the beginning, and I was able to pay them off. And if they weren't willing enough to give me a loan to even get started, then we wouldn't be here. And no matter how bad of a day I'm having, I can go to them and they can help me in any way possible. My mom and dad actually both work for me, so dad's my chief operations officer, and my mom is the chief financial officer. So they are my backbone for sure.
Mhm.
And another one is my sister. She is in the shadows of me a lot, just because where I did start it, but she works her butt off at the restaurant now. And, I couldn't have a like this business without her. She is my business partner, and I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done.
Mm. Having a strong family like that is so important, and you can just tell how proud you are to be a part of that. Well, the last thing we always like to ask our guests is just what's something you're loving right now that's helping you grow. So this could be truly anything. Like it could be a gadget, it could be a daily habit, it could be a book, like anything that's helping you grow. We'd love to hear about it.
So something that I have been doing, I'm actually on the board of directors at the Chamber of Commerce in Anderson County. So that has definitely been helping me grow, not only as a person, but also in our community. Being able to give back, help those businesses when we have ribbon cuttings, seeing those businesses, us going to support them because they need support as well. I felt the love in my community, so we want them to feel the love as well. And also, I'm joining Rotary in Anderson County as well. So both of those are just giving back to the community, and I've really loved going and helping out as much as I can in the community that helped me so much.
That's awesome, Taylor. That's just so great that you are a young entrepreneur, but you're also community minded and you're giving back. It's just your story is just such an inspiration. So tell us before we wrap up, if people are wanting to buy your ice cream, where do they need to go? Give us a shout out of how do people find you and follow you in your story?
So we have a Facebook page. We post a lot on there. Right now, since it is the summertime, we have our mobile units going out. We do, employee appreciations, customer appreciations, all birthday parties, anything you can imagine with the mobile units. So we post where we're going on our Facebook page with those. But we also have our restaurant in Lawrenceburg where you can get your smash burgers and 28 different flavors of ice cream. We've got Kentucky Y'all Icebox in Williamstown. They or Williamsburg, I think. I can't remember that off the top of my head, but they are a new ice cream shop that just opened, and they are booming up there. You can buy it there. Critchfield Meats in Lexington has it. Baptist Health has it. And there's so many more little places that carry it. So they can always just reach out, and we can tell them what's closest to them.
Perfect. Well, I hope you all get some Taylor Belle's ice cream this summer. And Taylor, thank you so much for being a guest on this episode of Growing Kentucky's Leaders.
Thanks for having me.
Growing Kentucky's Leaders is a podcast brought to you by the Kentucky FFA Foundation. Our music is performed by Bourbon County FFA member Joe Fritch. Artwork is by Julie Fritch Creative. Your hosts are Sheldon McKinney and Ruth Ann Fink, and you can find us on all social platforms at Kentucky FFA.